So you're struggling with improving your credit score and you've come across the world of credit builders as a potential solution. In this video, I'm going to provide you with a clear picture of the top 5 credit builders and what they offer, how exactly they stack up, and the pros and cons of each, both in terms of price and quality, and a breakdown of which credit builder is going to be right for you based on your circumstances and what you're looking for. And if at any point you want to sign up for any of these credit builders, I've got links in the description below with the best available offers, some of which will help to support the channel. Now, the first credit builder we're going to be talking about is Self, and that is because they are one of the most well-known and prominent options on the market. If you've heard of credit builders, you've probably heard of Self, and that's because they've got over 1 million users currently on their credit builder. They started out with their credit builder loan and now offer a couple of other unique products as well, so I'm going to talk about those first and then dive into their flagship product. First, you've got the Self Visa credit card, which is a secured credit card which you can access in as little as 3 months after signing up for the credit builder from Self. With this card, you're actually able to choose your own credit limit, and it is secured by the funds in your credit builder, so you don't actually need to deposit more money. On top of that, Self also offers rent and bill reporting. You're going to get free rent reporting just by linking the bank account that you use to pay your rent from, and then you can report up to 5 different bills per month to the credit bureaus, starting off at $7 per month. You can also report up to 2 years of previous payments for a one-time fee of $50. So now that we have the bells and whistles out of the way, let's talk about Self's credit builder. The concept here is essentially that by saving money, you are able to build your credit. And that's kind of where the name Self comes from. You are making payments to yourself and building credit in the process. And it's a really simple 4-step process on how this actually works. First, you're going to apply for a credit builder account. They've got a number of different tiers with differing monthly payments. Then once you get approved, all you have to do is make those payments over the span of 2 years. Each on-time payment is going to be reported to the bureaus, which is going to help to build your payment history, which is the largest contributing factor to your credit score. Then at the end of the term, you're going to have access to all of your savings minus any fees. Now, some of the things that are going to set Self apart from the other options that we're going to talk about today are first, that there is no credit check required. As this is a product for people that are trying to build their credit, you don't need a premium credit score to qualify for Self. They're also going to provide you with credit building and educational resources so that you can start to understand your credit better. There's a forced savings component here that's going to make sure that you are saving money every single month. And there's a ton of flexibility in terms of choosing exactly how much you want those monthly payments to be. In terms of where Self falls short, the first and most notable of which is going to be their fees. Now, compared to some of the other options we're going to talk about, Self does come in a little bit on the higher end in terms of fees, and the total cost that you're looking at in terms of the fees on their different structures are going to range anywhere from about $90 to over $530. This corresponds to about a 16% APR in order to use the service, which, while it's cheaper than credit cards, is a lot more expensive than some of the other options. There's also not going to be any kind of immediate credit boost with Self. It's going to take time as you continue to make these payments for them to impact your credit, and there's a 2-year commitment that you're looking at, which can be pretty substantial for most people. The next credit builder we're going to mention is called Ava, and I do need to mention that Ava is the sponsor of this video, but although that's the case and they are friends of the channel, they're allowing me to provide you with an unbiased review, so I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons. Now, Ava's really got 2 core products. They've got a credit builder loan and they've got a credit card. With the credit builder loan, it's going to be pretty similar to what we just talked about from Self, with a couple important differences. The first of which is you get to choose the duration between either 12 or 24 months, depending on how long you want this credit builder to last. The second of which is they have a few different monthly payments you can choose from, currently at $25, $50, or $100 per month. Now, this is going to be similar to Self, where you're making that payment every single month for the duration of the term, and then at the end, you'll receive the funds that you have saved. Now, the key difference here is that there's not an APR being applied to your savings, so the fees are actually going to come in much lower. The cost for the credit builder comes in at $9 per month, or if you're paying for the full year, it'll be $72. Now, something of note from Ava is that 74% of users see an improvement to their credit within 7 days, and your score score can go up by an average of 45 points in no time, which is one of the reasons why Ava is one of the best credit builders on the market. Now, in terms of the Ava card, this is a pretty unique product. It is a virtual credit card that can be used at over 60 different merchants online. However, there's no interest and there is no security deposit. There's also instant approval if you connect a bank account. So far so good, but how does this thing actually work? Well, you can get approved for a credit limit of up to $2,500, but they're also going to set a spend limit for you, which is going to limit the amount you can actually spend on the card. The purpose of this is to ensure that you have a low credit utilization. So maybe you'll get approved for a $2,500 credit limit and a $250 spend limit. That means that you can only spend up to 10% of your card's available credit, essentially forcing you to have that low utilization, which is going to help to build your credit score. Now, the limits they assign to you are going to be based on the quality of the bank account that you link. So they're going to be looking for things like a consistent monthly paycheck and low spending out of that account. And then based on good behavior, that credit limit and spend limit are able to raise over time. Next, we've got rent reporting. This feature allows you to build your credit history by reporting the rent, which you're already paying, to all three major credit bureaus. Connect the bank account that you use to pay rent via Plaid, and from there, Ava will automatically detect those rent payments. Now, Ava is great for a number of different reasons. First, similar to Self, there's no credit check with either of their products. Next, they're gonna have credit reporting to all of the different bureaus within 7 days of signing up and within 24 hours of every on-time payment that you make. Again, this helps to improve your score quickly. Ava is also using predictive analysis to try to detect your ability to repay. This allows them to be a bit more forgiving than other institutions and also grant you higher limits. They're also going to be one of the most affordable providers, coming in at that $9 per month mark or $72 per year. And that's inclusive of both products. So the Ava card is free to use if you are a Ava Credit Builder user. And lastly, by using both of these products, you can have a massive impact on your credit score. That's because Ava impacts factors that make up 90% of your credit score. These are things like on-time payments, credit utilization, and credit age and mix. Now, on the downside, you may only be able to get approved for a smaller credit limit or spend limit on the Ava card, which might not be suitable for you if you're looking to, put all of your monthly expenses on one single card. Additionally, one thing I do want to mention is that Ava has decided to provide a $1 trial to everyone in my audience. So if you want to check that out, the link will be in the description below. And like I said, many folks do see a positive result from Ava within as little as 7 days. So it might be worth trying out. Just make sure to use that link in the description below and the promo code Apple at checkout. The next credit builder on the list is Stellarfi. And Stellarfi is actually a public benefit corporation addressing credit access issues in the United States. This platform is going to help you build credit by reporting the monthly subscription payments you make to things like Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, etc. And there's a very simple 3-step process to do so. First, you just link the checking account that you're making these bill payments out of. Next, you'll add your bills within Stellarfi. And then third, you just got to pay it. Now from there, Stellarfi is going to ensure that you have a sufficient balance to pay these bills by something called their virtual bill pay card. The only thing that you're going to have to make sure is that you actually move these bills over to Stellarfi from the checking account that they're coming out of currently. Then the monthly reports that they make to the credit bureaus are going to work to improve things like your credit age, on-time payments, and credit mix. Now, similar to the other options we've talked about so far, Stellarfi does not run any kind of credit check, and they report to all of the major bureaus. They also offer educational resources and a variety of different plans to meet your needs, whatever they may be. Unfortunately, there are some cons that you're going to want to be aware of, including blocked merchants and the fees that they charge. So in terms of blocked merchants, there are just going to be some subscriptions and payments that you're not going to be able to use with Stellarfi, things like peer-to-peer payments and crypto institutions. In terms of the subscriptions, there's a variety of different tiers that are going to grant you different privileges in terms of how many bills per month you're going to be able to run through Stellarfi. These are going to range anywhere from $5 up to $30 per month. And on the $5 per month plan, you're going to be limited to a $500 credit limit. The next credit builder, which is quite unique, is called Kickoff. Now, currently over 1 million people are using Kickoff to build their credit, and they've got 3 different products that they offer to these users. These are going to be their credit account, their rent reporting, and their secured credit card. Essentially with the credit account, what they're doing is giving you a credit card with a $750 credit limit that can only be used at the Kickoff store. This comes along with a $5 per month fee and you're not going to be eligible for the other Kickoff products without having this card. Now, the rent reporting is going to be pretty similar to what is offered from Self, except that with Kickoff, they're not reporting to all of the credit bureaus. What they're going to do is only report your on-time positive payments to Equifax, and there is no additional fee associated with this. Then for that same $50 that Self charges, they will report your past 2 years of rent payments as well. Then lastly, with their secured credit card, this is going to function very similarly to many other secured credit cards on the market, and you will have to make a deposit for this card. In terms of where Kickoff shines, again, there's no credit check here, which is always a plus. There's going to be some educational resources that you'll have access to from Kickoff through the Kickoff store, and you're looking at a pretty low cost service here with fees at $5 per month. But there are some things to be aware of here. First is the general limited impact that Kickoff can have on your credit. Due to the nature of these products that they're offering, they're not going to be the biggest impact driver of all the different credit bureaus on the list. Additionally, a lot of folks feel that their credit account product isn't that useful, and it only reports to Equifax and Experian. The last credit builder we're going to be talking about is probably the most unique of the bunch, and it is called Kovo. Now, Kovo's got a special place in my heart because I really dig the mission that they're on. Kovo's got these educational resources that teach you real-world skills that are going to help you out in many everyday situations. They then offer these courses to you on a 24-month installment plan. With this, they're going to report your monthly payments to the credit bureaus. Now, these courses are going to cover a variety of different subjects, including job interview skills and interview strategy, self-confidence and self-esteem, entrepreneurship, personal branding, stress management and time management, business plan essentials, problem solving and critical thinking, spreadsheet fundamentals, introduction to programming, and many other topics. This essentially functions very similarly to a credit builder loan, where you're making those consistent monthly payments over 24 months. The difference is at the end of that period, you're not receiving any money back because what you've essentially been paying for are these educational courses. You're getting access to some really practical resources. They also include expense tracking, so you can manage all of your different monthly expenses in one place. They've got transparent pricing with no hidden fees, and there are actually rewards that you can earn as a Kovo user. When you go ahead and get a financial product from one of their recommended partners, you may earn a reward in the process. Now, these rewards are going to be 1% of the amount issued for things like a personal loan, with which you can earn up to $500, a student loan, either issued or refinanced, where you can earn up to $250, and an auto loan refinance or a credit card as well. Now, with the negatives, you're only going to be eligible for these rewards if you've been making on-time payments for 4 months or more, and the service generally is not free, and so you're going to be paying, $240 in this case out of pocket for the privilege of using Kovo. So to put a bow on this, who is going to benefit the most from each of these different resources? Well, for Self, the best outcome there is their free rent reporting, which anyone can take advantage of, whether or not you pay Self for any of their other services. Ava is going to be best for you if you're looking for the most cost-effective credit builder and virtual credit card, because you can start off for just that $1 trial with the link in the description below and promo code Apple. Stellarfi is going to be best for you if you want to report large bills to all of the credit bureaus. Kickoff's going to be best for you if what you want is a guaranteed $750 credit line reported on your report. And Kovo is generally going to be best for folks that want to improve their lives holistically. So depending on what makes the most sense for you, use those links in the description below to sign up, get those best offers, and support the channel in the process. Thank you so much to Ava for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you in the next one.